Okay, and welcome everyone to the HQXtra Eseries, round 4, presented by Command Digital Signage. This particular event's driven a hot lap by the pedal suspension Autobahn vehicle, and we're heading on to our hot lap at the moment and running down the front straight, hopefully ending up at about a 1:16 lap. So we brake heavily at about 70 or 80 odd metres here. We're nice and light on the throttle here so we don't get too much wheel spin on the exit. And then we push it out to left-hand side here before we start going up a little bit of a crest over onto the right-hand side here. So car gets a bit light, cresting the right-hand side of the track, and before we start turning off to the left here. Again, we don't want to be too early on the throttle, but it's pretty hard in second gear here before we sort of shift to top, just as we click the right-hand side ripple strip there and out onto the exit on the left-hand concrete verge there. So heading out into the downhill part of the circuit here. So again, nice and clean on the brakes, and we want to keep nice and close to the right-hand ripple strip on the entry there, which pushes us out wide on the left-hand side of the exit, which is a big long straight for the Wanneroo racetrack here. So big opportunities for slipstreaming, particularly in the racing, but also in qualifying we can get about a half a second advantage out of that if it's done well. So coming into the dip here, very easy to outbrake yourself and end up exiting too far to the side. Right-hand ripple strip on the entry, left-hand ripple strip on the exit there, but we can't push the car too far over, otherwise we'll get ourselves a penalty. So that's our hot lap at Barbagallo Raceway, and looking forward to race 1. This is a pedal suspension race car. Off we go. And the qualifying results for round 4 of the HQXtra E-Series, brought to us by Command Digital Signage. This is the Kerway Asphalting round, and it's a big hello to Dave Armour. How are we going down there today?
Fantastic, mate. In Victoria, it is bloody cold. I can tell you that for a fact. Sun's shining, but there's just no warmth. So, mate, fantastic qualifying.
Yeah, look, it's been a great run, this run. Look, the track lends itself to some fantastic driving. It's always a small, tight circuit, and the results have definitely shown that one too. So as it stands, we've got Dave Camilleri that's come with pole, a great front row position for him. Simon Thomas has jumped up. He's had a fantastic run there. There's only a couple of tenths between them. Joel Heinrich has come through with third, with Michael Howlett in fourth, following to the second row of the grid. Chris Mole and Brandon Madden come through on the next row. Brett Osborne and Dwayne Priest and Dave Smith and Scott Andriski end up coming through to finish out the top 10. We've got 7 tenths of a second, even in the top 15 positions there between pole and as it goes further back. So fantastic qualifying. Let's get into race 1 and we'll see how it all comes up then.
Just waiting for them to start, ladies and gentlemen, here at Barbagallo. And away they go. What an excellent start as they all come straight towards me. That's where my advantage is, looking at this track, coming down into turn 1. Oh, a little bit wide there. It looks like Howlett on the inside, but Simon Thomas has got an excellent start in the 76 car, and David Camilleri in the 46 car around the outside. Howlett is all the way up in there. And Dwayne Priest in the 77 car. That's a beautiful looking car as they start to go through turns 3 and 4, winding their way up around the hill.
Yeah, look, Simon Thomas has had a fantastic start. So front row position for the getaway there. We've had Dave Camilleri that was running on the front row as well. And then as the pack sort of comes through, you can see how tight it is, particularly into this cold corner. It's going to be interesting to see how they all come out the other side. Again, it's always great to see
we've had a bit of a spin. Sorry, mate, we've had a bit of a spin. I reckon that was Joel's dad has gone to the outside of the track on turn 5. Let's continue on. Oh, we've got Hollywood. Hollywood's been a bit of a spin. Leighton Cranbrook. You can see them all going around there. Yep, definitely Hollywood, Cranbrook, Nicholas, 3 or 4 cars there. So as they come down the hill, they've got this sharp right-hander coming onto the front straight. And lap 1 already.
And the way that the rules have been stipulated in this round is that the exiting of that final corner onto the front straight there, the 2 right-hand side wheels need to be on the ripple strip from start to finish there, and they get a couple of warnings, and then there'll actually be some infringements occurring otherwise. So, but it's easy to get sucked in and to try and push yourself a little bit hard into that turn, but how fantastic is it going out the front?
It certainly is. Anskolf's up into 4th position, Heinrich into 5th position. Then we've got Madden in 6th there. We see the 57 car, and also Brett Osborne there in 8th position. So good to see. There's a good gaggle of HQs right up the front. Kerway Asphalting, thank you guys for sponsoring this round. And I also understand it's Wayne's birthday for this week. So happy birthday, old man. A magnificent 50. Hang on, Chris Mole and Brett Osborne are nose to nose there, coming down the back chute in that final corner there. So those guys, bumper bar to bumper bar. Oh, look at this! Look at this! Thomas has spun around. Thomas had a bit of a issue there with Howlett, from 2nd back to 4th, back to 5th, 6th, 7th now, coming down the front chute to start lap 3.
Yeah, I think they've actually ended up turning into that final turn there a couple wide there. I think it might have been Dave Camilleri's actually ended up giving him a tag in the rear, unfortunately. And look who's ended up being the beneficiary. We've got Howlett in the lead there, and we've got Joel Heinrich in 2nd. And one of the Harvey's towing guys are actually in 3rd place with Dave Camilleri. We've got Brandon Madden running up in the top 3 again. Well done.
Certainly is. David Camilleri there in 4th. So as we can all see, doing extremely well. Chris Answorth. But Joel Heinrich, keep an eye on him, the number 1 car. Osborne's down the side of it. Osborne's Transport are very, very keen sponsors and supporters of HQRA, New South Wales, and also HQRA. Literally, you could say they really love HQ Racing. So thank you very much, guys.
Absolutely, and look, we sort of watched them coming into this final turn, and again, there's a bit of a slipstreaming effect that can occur here, and sadly, it looks like some of the guys on the outside end up sort of getting the raw end of some of these duels at some point, but the smart move is to just give yourself a little bit of room. You can go too wide there. They have been able to do that, and it shows that you can get through, and the guys at the front always sort of seem to have a little bit of a better result when you have a little bit of an idea where to put your car and know that you can still come out the other side and battle the next lap.
Yeah, that is for sure, but you've got to have confidence on that guy down the inside of you that isn't going to push you wide. So you've got to be so careful there. You can be hero or zero. As we keep coming through, Dwayne Priest there in a 77 car up into 7th position at the moment. He's doing quite well. It's a good looking car. He was in the Ian Beachy car in Tasmania, ladies and gentlemen, there just a round ago. So Brett Osborne is certainly coming through. Junior Green, good to see Junior Green, Otis Cordwell, Kenny Wright, Jason Mole, Chris Mole. Just trying to look there. Jason Mole is driving the Speed Cafe car this weekend, so that's good to see.
That's correct. Yeah, look, he's taken the opportunity to drive the 00 Speed Cafe car. So I've had a few really impressive front runners being able to sort of have a drive of that. Jason's not feeling the best at the moment, so I'm not sure how his results will be, but nonetheless, he's going to give it his all. And it's great to see, like you said, Dwayne Priest running competitively in his original paint scheme, which I think was, from a few years ago now.
Yep, mate, coming down the hill, they were 4 wide and then 3 wide into the final corner. And, of course, have had a bit of a tap and a bit of a flexing in the pecs, just pushed the HQs wide a little bit and got a bit sideways coming over the start-finish line. But they're all coming through. We're up onto lap 5 now. Quarters Oddwell there is from Tasmania. Good to see him having a fairly good run at the moment. Brett Osborne. He'd be happy with that. We're actually seeing him in the front group instead of the middle group. Johnny Baxter, I haven't seen him yet, so it'd be interesting to see where John is and how he comes through the field, or if he has a bit of the issue with the Barbagallo Raceway racetrack.
Yeah, look, it's a pretty fickle track, and it's really difficult to read how much grip you've actually got. The guys at the front have done a lot of laps, so they know sort of how to get around safely. And again, a couple of locals are doing quite well there with Ansco and Howlett. But when you're heading into a corner, it's really easy to sort of get a little bit too aggressive, and you think you can get your way through, and then you end up either slipping off the track there or pushing wide and losing a lot of space. So that top sort of 7 or 8 cars there are pretty tight there, following it up with Brett Osborne in the next position behind that too.
Yeah, so we've got Joel Heinrich, we've got Madden, we've got Howlett there in 3rd position. just waiting for another camera shot at a different angle, as they go around that fairly tight left-hander as they're climbing to go up over the hill, and then you lose them sort of from the grandstand as they go up over the top, go all the way down into that fairly sharp right corner that pushes you away. Many years ago, Jason Bright come off there and then backed his car on, and then another V8 supercar hit him and destroyed their whole weekend. Right there is where they are now, where you have the issues. So Heinrich, you can see him doing extremely well. Ainskopf is doing fantastic. They really are, the two brothers, both in the top 10. Oh, Howlett's gone a little bit wide. As you can see him coming down on the straight, he's right out the inside to the outside of the track now. They're too wide. But Dave Camilleri in Chookman's car, the 46 car, he's having a pretty good stellar year so far in the E-Series, the HQs.
Look, he is, and he's adapted to the HQ side of things. He's been a bit of a sim racer, so he knows how the dynamics of the cars in general sort of work, and he's had a bit of practice, which is obviously sort of showing in his results. But at the same time, the uniqueness of the HQs and the way that we're sort of running them in the different tracks, he's got to get used to that as much as some of the other guys that haven't even driven in a sim before. They've got to get their head around it as much too. But you can sort of see Howlett up the front there has been competitive. Joel has been really competitive from the get-go. Some of the Harvey guys, both Madden and Andreski's have sort of crept their way up there too, but you sort of see that there's a few top runners that are starting to make some serious impressions with the championship. You've got Jason Mole, you've got Heinrich, and you've got Howlett that are all very much in the hunt there. And like you said, Dave has been, Camilleri has been very competitive all the way through. So there's a few sort of creeping through here. And again, these four up the front, they're absolutely hammer and tong. It'll be interesting to see how they go into this next lap.
Yeah, they certainly will. Madden just got in front of the little angry ant, Joel Heinrich, as you can see. This Heinrich, which we call Joel's dad, he is really struggling. The simulator and him aren't handling it very well. He's back sort of in the midfield. He's in the old Steve Ellery super cheap colours, 31 wow. Or 13 backwards it might be. Have to wait and see as they come around the corner. All about a spin. Ainskopf, as I was saying just before, back to 6th, if not 7th position. He was trying to get into 4th there. We're on lap 8. We've got 4 laps to go, still plenty of time. But we can see also Madden, 57 car, the Harvey's car has had an issue and he's certainly dropped back a fair way also. But the Chookman car, David Camilleri, has hit the lead. Howlett on the inside. There's Heinrich behind him. And the other black car, I'm just trying to work out, that's Scott Andreski.
Yeah, so
we've got Andreski.
Andreski and Madden up there, and the lead sort of changed at the end of the first exit of turn 1 there in that last round, and there was almost a bit of a 3/4 of a spin, and the car ended up getting straightened up, which was lucky, but it's ended up reversing some of those rolls. So again, we've got Dave Camilleri sort of up the front there. We've got Howlett. We've got the Osborne's CR International car there from Joel Heinrich, and then we've got the two Harveys towing guys, line astern there. So again, cracking race. We've got 5 cars up the front there.
Yeah, Harvey's Towing is from Queensland. Joe Andreski is the owner of that. He puts a lot of money, heartache and soul, you could say, into the teams. They've got 4 cars running in Queensland this year, and also very heavily involved in the E-Series as well. So this is a great camera angle here. Looking at right on, almost a lover's tap, you could say, on the Howlett car. That's how close they are, and that's how fair income it is. Sort of breaks them apart a little bit. They go up over the top and then down to this right hand. You're trying to add the guy on the inside, but mate, you can fall off very, very quickly.
Again, it really just takes you almost all the way to the limit when you're exiting that corner, and you need to be there, which is where the grip is. So your intention is to try and get as close to the edge of that circuit, but it's very easy to push just that little bit wide. And again, this drag strip with the slipstream heading down here, you've got 4 or 5 cars really towing the guys at the back at a couple of kilometres an hour, which is enough just to stick a nose or a half a car up in front, which has been able to sort of happen there. And again, around this turn final onto the straight, it's brilliant to be able to watch these 5 cars just absolutely hammer and tong.
Yep, it certainly is. We've got Brett Osborne behind him, the lonely driver, number 6 all by himself. And then we've got a heap of cars. I think there's 5, if not 6 cars in that next group. So they're certainly having a ding-dong battle on lap 10 of 12. 2 more laps to go. So this will be interesting. Howlett, what can Howlett do? David Camilleri is just going, guys, I'm here and I'm having fun. And he's right at the front at the moment. He's doing extremely well.
He hasn't quite run away a race yet, but I can tell you every turn that every time he's come onto this back straight, he's probably exited just that little bit too wide, a half a car width too wide, and it pushes him on the exit, which gives Howlett a half a chance every time to sort of run back up into it. He's just getting close to the exit of that corner, and he might have ended up dropping about 4 or 5 spots just in that one particular run around the back of the circuit there.
Yeah, he certainly has. He's just gone out too wide again. We've seen the rainbow car there, on the 76 car there. He done well in qualifying, and he's dropped back to about 7th or 8th, but he had a few issues. The 23 car there at Chris Mole, how close was that to rolling over?
Well, I think it's as close as you'll get, but I'll tell you what, there'd be some pretty sore bodies in the middle of that too.
Yep, and there's Joel's dad. There we go, Bruce Heinrich, super cheap car, 31, as I said to you. Pedro there in the 30 car, the pink car, and also the Pom there, Walker, you can see there in the number 10 car.
Walker Senior, his name is on the race replays, but like you said, he's the father of 2 that are racing over in WA. But it's fantastic to have an international competitor, you'd say, and again, it blows my mind a little bit, to be fair, that we've got someone on the opposite end of the globe that is racing live in a Western Australian circuit in a HQ Holden. So it's absolutely incredible, and it shows the depth of the field that we've got competitors from every state. We've got state champions, national champions, sponsors and cars from all over the place, and they're all coming in, they're all enjoying it, and they're giving each other a fair crack at the whip too. So again, these top 5 or 6, and then there's a bit of a gap to Brett Osborne, and then we've got a few of the other cars behind that, but I just can't take my eyes off this first bunch. It's fantastic.
Yes, it certainly is. So it'll be interesting. We've got the 2 boys and the old man. It'll be interesting who will take the trophy from that family tonight as well. So there'll be a bit chest bouncing and rubbing, as you can say. Here we go, right, ladies and gentlemen. Lap 12 of 12. This is the final lap. We've got Madden in front, Heinrich in behind him. Hallett doing extremely well. And then we've got Camilleri there, but in front of him we've got Scott Andreski. So this will be interesting. 2/3 of a lap to go as they're going through turns 4 and 5. As they go up over the hill, we lose sort of sight from the grandstand. Can't see that bit, but it's so exciting that we can actually see it here today.
It's actually, it's incredible. Look, to be honest, we've actually got those 2 cars reversed. We've got Scott Andreski is at the front, and we've got Madden there in 4th. So I don't think Scott's actually won a race yet. So he's having a really tough go at the front. We've got Joel that's close there too. We've got Howlett that's absolutely pushing there, and whether it's going to be worth sitting there for the points or whether they end up sort of going for the win, we'll find out.
Certainly is down into the final corner. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's wait and see, boys and girls. Madden has got it at 57. Harvey Norman has won. Heinrich second. Howlett 3rd. Heinrich's given a bit of a tap there to the race winner and sent him into the wall.
And the race results there for race 1 of round 4 of the HQXtra Eseries, brought to us by Command Digital Signage. Absolutely fantastic result there. Look, Brandon Madden, I apologise. We actually had Scott Andreski and Brandon Madden reversed there in my grid sheet, so apologies for that. But Brandon Madden's ended up coming in first there. Joel Heinrich's coming second, but Michael Howlett was well up the front. He's done particularly well. Scott Andreski has ended up coming 4th, and he's come up 6 spots there. So fantastic race there, Dave.
It certainly is. In 5th position, we've got David Camilleri. 6th, Brett Osborne. Well done, Brett. Simon Thomas off the front grid, you could say. Finishing in 7th position, Dave Smith, the South Australian, in 8th position. In 8th, Kenny Wright, CR International, in 9th. And then we've got Walker, the old man, I understand, from overseas. The other side of the world, you could say. So absolutely brilliant. Most important thing, well, it is for Otis Cordwell, the 71 car, up 16 positions. So he had a fantastic race.
He did well to dodge a lot of the carnage there. You can sort of see a few of the guys that are normally well up the front had some issues there. So again, another brilliant race one. The top 5 were absolutely nose to tail all the way through. So let's get into race 2 and we'll see how those results come out.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, race 2, round 4. Just waiting for them to take off. Oh, yeah, Osborne. It looks like Osborne's on the front there. Got a ripper of a start. Dave Camilleri in behind him. We've got Scott Madden there on the outside, and directly behind him we've got Thomas as they come down into turn 1.
Yeah, look, we've got a bit of a change in the front row there. So we forgot to mention that they have actually inverted the top 6 there. So we've ended up with poor Simon Thomas.
Oh, mate. Whoa.
Happening,
Massive
isn't it?
crash. Massive crash. This is unbelievable. It's turn 2 there. That's the HQXtra car. Is that the car you're supposed to be driving?
No, look, there's 3 of them there. I'm actually driving a pedal suspension vehicle this particular race meeting. But yeah, there's definitely some action going on halfway through the pack there. I'm not sure if it was Smith involved with that got turned around by someone, but it's kind of been stacks on the mill from everyone else from there.
Geez, mate, it certainly was. But out the front, we've got Thomas, then Madden. A little bit further back, we've got Green Jr., we've got Leighton Cranbrook, we've got Smith, Kenny Wright in the CR1, Hollywood himself in the 99 car, Walker, and Jason Bell. We've got Dwayne Priest. So we've got a good assortment of guys right around Australia, including Tassie, of course. Car going a bit sideways there, into the final corner, has backed it in. Is that the Hollywood car? Is that the 99 car? Can't quite see.
It is the Hollywood car, and sadly it looks like he might have inverted that on his own. There was a couple of cars there, but it doesn't look like any was close enough to be able to have a tap. Look, I don't know. I'd be just sort of looking, but let's just find out sort of how the stewards look at that one. But yeah, sadly into the barriers.
Yeah, well, an absolute pity. We'll have to ask Hollywood. Probably not even he will know. We'll have to just wait and see. There's Chris Mole, Command Digital car there. We've got Heinrich going fairly well at the moment. He's back in around about 7th position. Howard on the inside of him. Chris Anskoff there, Dwayne Priest, and also Kenny Wright in the CR National car. Fantastic to see, and a really good crew. So they're all coming through on lap 2 of 12. They seem to be all 12 lappers here, which are around about the 15 and a half minutes. And a 1:16 is somewhere I think is fairly close to what a normal time would be around here. Do you know the exact time of a HQ?
I don't. Look, to be honest, most of the circuits have been very reflective, so I would only take the assumption that it has been the case. But it looks like one of the Osborne cars might have actually had a hit there.
Yeah, Brett Osborne was just facing the fence there for a couple of shots. Up and going again, which is all A-OK. This is E-Series racing for HQs at Barbagallo Raceway in Western Australia. And Kerway Asphalting, thank you very, very much for being the sponsor. And once again, Man Digital, unbelievable. Thank you very, very much.
Absolutely. Look, the guys at Command Digital have been fantastic to be involved in the series, and again to Jason Mole in particular that's been able to put the whole thing together, and he organises all the race evenings and looks after all the maintenance of things, and computers always have their own agenda sometimes and send us some curly ones, and Jason's been very, very much on top of any issue that's come along and being able to run the whole thing. But again, the opportunity the HQs have been able to sort of have in this sort of series is absolutely brilliant. The whole category has got behind it. We've got we've got nearly 60 entrants between each of the rounds. Some people haven't been able to compete in all of them, which is very indicative of what racing in general and HQs are. Not everyone can make it to each meeting, so we have a fairly steady group of a lot of front runners, but the rest of the field sort of spreads out a bit. But my goodness, we've got 10, 15 cars almost nose to tail going into the start-finish line and over into turn 1, turn 2 complex. So absolutely brilliant to be able to see these cars and the way that they're moving about, the dynamics of the whole thing and how this circuit reacts. It's absolutely incredible. Brilliant to race, fantastic to drive in. The cars are absolutely on the edge and brilliant to watch from the outside. So I cannot say enough thanks to all the guys that have been involved, as well as all the HQXtra sponsors that are here for the long haul as well. So fantastic work by everyone.
Yes, it certainly is. So we've got Matt the Palmer still in second, David Camilleri in third, Scott Andriski in fourth, Howlett fifth, Mole in sixth there. Kenny Wright a little bit further back. We've got Leighton Cranbrook, we've got Brett Osborne, and also Jason Moles. So, and then we've got Heinrich there. Heinrich's in seventh position there at the moment. So he's coming back through the field. But Howlett is doing extremely well. We're on lap 4, almost up to lap 5 now as I go over the start-finish line. And everyone's coming along pretty good. The cafe car there, the 00 car, looks really, really good. Dwayne Priest's car, mate, that has got some green colour in it, I tell you. It certainly stands out.
It does. It's a brilliant colour. And I think that I might have just watched the second car there by the Harvey's car drive straight around the outside of the turn 1, around Simon Thomas. So Madden's just done an amazing move, and Howlett's just been sneaking up almost 1 position a lap. So he's heading into third place now. It looks like he might be sort of having a crack at that. Thomas might be under pressure here with the pack. Again, with that slipstreaming going up the back straight. Every time they've come into this final turn, they've either been 2 wide, and even in that last one, they were actually 3 wide going through there. So again, full respect to all the guys that were involved there to be able to get out the other side and keep going. But yeah, we're 6, 7, 8 maybe cars deep here, head to tail. Absolutely incredible. So we've got Madden, we've got Thomas, we've got Howlett and Dresky, then we've got Camilleri. Oh, looks like Howlett might have actually had a bit of a touch there.
Has he? Oh, yes, he's certainly come back on. He's certainly gone back 3, 4 positions. Oh, he's still going backwards at the moment, still trying to find the fast stuff. It's not the green stuff. He should realise that by now. And they certainly have a bit of a wild side as well. They all start coming through. But have a look at this. We've got a bit of a gap now. We've got Madden and Thomas. With a little bit of a gap. You can see them there. We've got Scott Andreski, David Camilleri. And look out. Here comes a little angry ant. Here comes Heinrich.
Oh.
Heinrich up into 5th position.
Absolutely. We're 5.
As they all come through. Yeah, Dwayne Priest looks like he may have the mojo. He may have it coming down the front chute. This will be interesting. As you can see him there, David Camilleri there. Right behind him is Heinrich. Then we've got Anskoff, we've got Mole and Howlett, and also Scott Andreski.
Looks like Chris.
They all come through. There's
Yeah, sorry to interrupt there, Dave. Looks like Chris Mole might have had a bit of
Yep.
a touch going into that final turn there, and he's ended up into the sand. So not sure what happened there, but sadly he's dropped quite a few positions there, which has ended up giving a bit of a gap to the front 4 cars. And then we've got Kenny Wright there in 5th. And then, like you said, Dwayne Priest's Dayglow Green almost car is coming through behind there too. So we've got Madden, Thomas, Camilleri, Heinrich, Kenny Wright, and then sort of running back sort of further from there. So a couple of little packs of, like you said, little angry HQs there at the moment.
Yep, they certainly are. We're on lap 7, 5 laps to go. This is race 2, round 4 here at Western Australia at Barbagallo. So I went there some three years ago for the HQ Nationals. Fantastic track. Catering was unbelievable. The HQ guys over there, absolutely thank you very, very much. Made me feel like home. So, and I do want to go back. So it was a really, really good time.
Yeah, look, the circuit and particularly WA guys are very passionate, and it's great to sort of see the way that they support, that they have some mini rounds. They almost sort of combine a couple of rounds of a championship within a weekend, but they've got night series, they've got a fantastic website, and they have an enduro that sort of happens yearly too. So a great category over in the WA sort of side of things with the collie as well that they get to run out too. But well supported, well presented cars, and very, very professional as well. So Howlett's dad, or Michael's dad, we used to run with quite a few years ago, so he used to come over to the East Coast a little bit too, and vice versa. So it's great to see the track doing what it did back then, and particularly with the way it's bringing out with the E-Series, some fantastically tight, close, competitive racing.
Yep. All right, down the chute. You can see, Dwayne Priest has definitely gone out a little bit wide, gone out very, very wide. Got to come back on the track. He's just lost his 3 position. Speed Cafe car there. Jason Mole will probably catch go past him. That's Dave Smith there in 11 car, the South Australian car. Come up over the hill, down into the final corner. You can see more Dave Camilleri doing extremely. Kenny Wright up into fifth position, and Howlett there. Oh, Camilleri, what's he doing? Okay, that's a different way to take the last turn. And they're smoking them up to spin them back around so they can get going. There's Joel's. No, it's not Joel's dad, that one. That's one of the mid-packers. Leighton Cranbrook. There he is, Leighton Cranbrook. There you go, right on cue. And Dwayne Priest just behind him with Dave Smith in front, and also Chris Mole. They're the Command Digital car. Lap 9, 3 laps to go. Mate, I went over there on Thursday night. They were running around until 10 o'clock at night. There was a couple of classes. The lights were on. In the pits, the music was almost as loud as AC/DC. And, mate, we were just churning out the chimes all night. It was a fantastic weekend. And the Nationals were a great success over there. It was really, really good.
Look, it was a really...
Heinrich.
Oh, yeah. Look, it was a really well-represented Nationals, but like you said, the realism, we actually have the pits music blaring, even in the simulation sort of side of things. So even along the front straight, you can hear from the cars the music actually coming from the pits there. So I don't think it's changed over all those years, like you were mentioning too. But again, up the front, fantastic. We've got a pack of 3 there that's sort of getting very, very tight. Poor Simon Thomas looks like he's getting harassed there from second and third position there with a couple of the Harvey's cars. So great to sort of see the 2 cars up there, and Joe's somewhere in the pack as well. So again, a 3-car effort by these guys. And then Kenny Wright in 4th position there with the CR International car. But the front 3, let's find out how they continue this tussle.
Yeah, it certainly is. Thomas just in front of Madden. Then we've got Joel Heinrich there in the number 1 car. Joel Heinrich's on the inside. Yeah, this will be interesting going down to the final corner. Can Heinrich keep it down on the inside? Thomas, this will be very, very interesting. Howlett's got a little bit further away from Scott Andreski now. Kenny Wright, a lonesome 4, you could say. And then we've got Hanskoff and also Dave Smith behind them. But here we go. This will be interesting. Howlett's doing all right. Yes, Madden has got in front of Thomas over the start-finish line. So they're on lap 11 of 12. Thomas trying to get up the inside. There, Madden's gone out wide. Thomas up the inside. Heinrich right in behind him. You can see it there. Oh, no. Madden's extremely well. Has gone right around the outside of Thomas and has been able to keep his lead. Turns 2, 3, 4. Thomas up the inside. Thomas hasn't won a race yet, but I'll tell you what, he's been up near the front a few times now. Can Heinrich, Madden, this will be very, very interesting. We've got 1.5 laps to go, up over the hill, down into the final, the right-hander back up the hill. A really good horsepower handling track, and you've also got to have some decent brakes, mate. Some decent skids to pull up. Scott Andretti's gone off the track. He's still moving at the moment. Yes, he's coming back on. He hasn't blown an engine, but he's certainly out-braked himself. There's Walker there and Dwayne Priest. What a pity. He was doing so well, Scott Andreski. He'd be kicking himself. So we just have to wait and see We've got Leighton Cranbrook, Chris Mole and David Smith.
Yeah, look, Paul
coming down into the final corner.
Pouring into the last turn there. Again, we've got a 4-car gaggle even further down the grid than what some of them would have expected. Cranbrook in particular wouldn't have expected to sort of be as far back as he is. But again, you're racing just as hard up the front as you do through the mid-pack there. But brilliant footage. I just love the way that the cars sort of float about over some of these curbs. You do clip them. That does sort of throw the car around a bit. But Thomas up the front, I'm actually more impressed than anything just in this final lap. We'll see if he can stay in front of them. But he's come from nowhere. For him to be able to sort of be running both the last race and this race up the front and being able to sort of watch the guys do it. We've got Madden and Joel Heinrich sort of pushing him. And you know what? Kenny Wright has actually come through on this last lap with the tussling up the front, and he's actually making some ground on them.
He certainly has. Thomas back to second, Madden into first. Thomas, as you can see on the outside of the track, Madden on the inside, Heinrich on the inside with Madden. Kenny Wright just dropped back just that little bit. It's the final lap, final corner. Here we go. This will be quite interesting. Oh, God, this is tight. This is close. Madden, Heinrich, and then Thomas. Madden, Heinrich, and Thomas. That's how I get it. As they all go screaming over the start-finish line.
So the results as it comes up now for race 2 of round 4 of the HQXtra Eseries presented by Command Digital Signage. We've had Brandon Madden come through in first place there. So started on the front row, stayed there. Fantastic. Joel Heinrich ended up coming through in second place. Simon Thomas ended up in third place. Ken Wright ended up 8 spots up with the Sierra International car. So fantastic result from him. We've got Michael Howlett, was up and down all the way through that race, but again, fantastic points, great for the championship. He's running a very, very solid race.
He certainly is. Then we've got Matthew Reid there in 6th position, up 11, so he's done extremely well. Chris Askoff in 7th position. Then we've got Chris Mole in 8th, Dave Smith in 9th, and once again we've got Walker from the other side of the world, you might as well say, rounding out in the top 10, so he's gone up 3 positions. Just having an overall look at this, Brett Osborne on the 86 car down 15 positions. So he started second and finished 17th. So he certainly had some accidents and incidents in race 2.
Yeah, and poor Jason Moles just in front of him as well with the Speed Cafe 00 car. So hopefully we'll see how race 3 comes for them, and they might be on the better end of some of these incidents. So race 3, bring it on. Let's find out how it all goes.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, final race, just waiting for him to go. What a ripper start from Madden. Paul Askoff has certainly pulled out wide. Howlett's on the outside. Thomas is having a really, really good start again. Thomas up into 3rd position, has gone down into turn 1. Askoff, the 24 car there. I'm just trying to work out who that is. Dave Smith there, Brett Osborne. Interesting. He wants to come back through, and also Johnny Baxter as well as in the other car. John Baxter's got the pink wheels, and Brett Osborne's got the blue wheels. Leighton Cranbrook also in the top 11 there at the moment, so he's doing quite okay. And also Hollywood in the 99 car. He's back out there in 14th position. Kenny right there in the 7th position as they go through turns 4 and 5 and then down over the hill where normally you have the sand. Oh, have a look at this. There's some banging and crashing, bumper bar, the door handle up on their sides as they go through here. Oh, Dwayne Priest is there involved, Brett Osborne's involved, Otis Cornwall is involved as well. Dwayne Priest got it up on 2 wheels, ladies and gentlemen, up over the top. And there is Bruce Heinrich, the 31 car, the super cheap car, up over the top. Bruce Heinrich is all of a sudden into your 11th position. Unbelievable, mate. Lap 1 hasn't even finished yet.
Absolutely. Look, there'll be a lot of visits towards Super Cheap Auto in this particular race. There's absolutely 10 cars that probably would have been involved in that whole skirmish. So, and hasn't finished yet. There's still sort of incidents going into turn 1. around the back of the field as well. So you're right, that was mayhem going into cold corner there, and an incredible round. Someone that we haven't seen much of this particular event, and it's the same as motor racing. Some circuits just suit more some drivers than others and cars, but Matt Reed ended up a front runner for the last few rounds, and I'm struggling to say that I've seen him in the top 10 at all this particular event. So up the front though, we've got Joel Heinrich, we've got a couple of the front runners that have continued there, but it's going on strong, and I can tell you that the front two guys may not be on their own for too much longer, with Howlett in third and Thomas in fourth. Pretty sure they'll start slipstreaming and turning this battle into quite a tight one once more.
Yeah, Madden is he's a young bloke, you know. He's having a ripper of a season so far as well. He's in the top half a dozen, I understand, in the point standing prior to this event. So I'm interested to see where he is. But Thomas doing fantastic there in the rainbow car, you could say, with the flame shooting off the back of the 76 number there. So he's having a fantastic run all the way through. Just trying to work out Bruce Heinrich, what's his issue, what's his problem. Maybe it's just old age, or he's racing simulator, but I'm sure he'll blame someone other than himself. But Joel Heinrich's doing extremely well. He's there, Madden right behind him. Howlett, a little bit of a gap now, starting to open up. I just want to see whether Leighton Cranbrook can get up into it. Kenny Wright. Oh, have a look at that. Is that Madden that's out there wide? Yeah, that's Madden. Madden's had a massive issue and problem. He's regained onto the track. He's lost 5 positions. So this is lap 3, so this will certainly change the point standing and also where the positions of the car. David Camilleri doing A-OK at the moment. He's gone back a bit. That's Smith. Leighton Cranbrook. I'm just trying to say, Andrew Legality. I'm just trying to whether, yep, that is Andrew Legality there in the 26 car. It's coming down over the hill. I'm just waiting to see the retro-looking car on the side to see the numbers. Dwayne Priest there. And we all of a sudden we're up to lap 4 of lap 12. And Madden's got a fair bit of catching up to do, but he still has time at the moment.
Absolutely. Look, that mid-pack backwards has ended up with a lot of front runners that wouldn't have normally been seen in that particular environment there. So that lap 1 tussle has ended up knocking a few of the cars backwards. Like you said, Madden looks like he may have even break that last little bit that he was trying to sort of push at the front of the queue there, and ended up sort of pushing wide. Looks like there might be a couple of other victims to that as it goes along too, but there's a few cars that have even, I think it was Kenny Wright there, might have just gone and done a half an outbreak of himself too, and he's dropped some positions there. We've got Leighton Cranbrook running door-to-door with the 00 Speed Cafe car by Jason Mole today. So again, we're running down the back straight into some of the final complex, and we'll see how they're going.
Yep, one of the cars have had an issue, has gone in and now it's come back out. He's right, he's pulled in. Yep, okay, that's good. He's pulled in behind first and second, but Heinrich and Howlett, Paul, they're two guys that will be interesting to see who will have the punch in the last lap. Who's got to look after their tyres, who's got to do a little bit of slipstreaming, and who's got more racecraft, you know, who's got the better head and the better helmet. You'll have to wait and see.
And look, the local knowledge side of things would have to go Michael Howlett's way, and maybe a better move to run through second until that final lap, having a bit of a chance. But at this stage, Michael Howlett's definitely attacking and trying to do his best, but Heinrich looks like he's got his elbows out and he's not going to let it have it all one way. I don't think he's going to hold back at all. We'll sort of see how the rest of the pack, whether they can catch up to these guys at the front. But mid-pack there, like you said, Andrew Longelli's in there. You've got Dave Camilleri sort of running through there. We've got Smith and Leighton Cranbrook and a few of those. Yeah, great battles sort of starting to spread a little bit deeper.
Yes, they certainly are. There's the HQXtra car there with a bit of damage on the right-hand front corner of it. David Camilleri is going around. This is onto the final corner of the straight over the start-finish line on lap 6. There's a 12-lapper again, which is around about 15 and a half minutes, 15 3/4 minutes in total. So with this E-Series, do we actually get a course car out at all? Is that could happen, or if
Yeah.
things get bad, or do they just continue and keep racing, mate?
No, the potential can be, absolutely. And look, with the amount of cars that just ended up with a big battle again, sort of coming onto that front straight there was cars galore getting spun around there. But there can be, if there's a car in the permanent position that's near by the track, they can actually call the safety car. But at the same point, it's the last thing that they want to be able to do. But in this sort of an instance with the sprint race, most of the time it just ends up sort of running through the flags. We do have a few endurance races coming up though. So we have the final 3 rounds of the series end up being 40-minute endurance race events to replicate to a certain degree the way that the Supercars Championship actually runs. So it's a championship within a championship. It's actually going to be called the CR International Endurance Cup. So we do have them coming on board with CR International to hopefully end up sort of giving us an alternative to the overall championship. So the first few rounds have been sprint rounds. The last few rounds are endurance rounds. We'll end up sort of getting a champion for both the enduro rounds and the overall championship. So we're looking forward to that. And again, a couple of the guys up the front, they're definitely in the hunt for the overall championship. And between Michael Howlett and Joel Heinrich there, they're driving amazingly. So credit to both of them. Makes everyone look like they're doing something wrong by the amount of gap that these guys have got.
Yeah, it certainly is, mate. It's racecraft, whether in a simulator or in the race car itself. Smooth is fast, and we both know that. So, well, I know that anyway. You know, I don't drop a wheel, mate. I'm smooth, but I'm not fast. But these guys have got everything going for them, and Howlett is just in front of Heinrich at the moment. Heinrich trying to come down the inside into the final corner. This will be a lap 8. It'll be 2/3 race distance. Oh, Howlett's gone out fairly wide. So Heinrich goes, so Howlett will still be leading the race on lap 8. Four to go, mate. So what's your prediction? This is going to be close to the front two, but look at 3rd, 4th and 5th, and then 6th, 7th and 8th. But Leighton Cranbrook up the inside of the Speed Cafe there, David Camilleri in front of him. I'm sure Leighton will want to get a bit more colour into his car. He likes red, not pink. So I'm sure Command Digital can fix that. That's a small problem for him. He's got the spar pulls on the side of his car. That's just how his car at home is in the garage. And we all can't wait to see it, touch it, feel it and smell it. It looks absolutely brilliant in the photos that I've seen of Leighton Cranbrook's brand new HQ race car.
Absolutely. Look, he's very proud of it. He's put a lot of effort into it, and justifiably so. It's an absolute show car. There's a couple of guys around the circuit that have got some incredible show-like HQ Holden. So the field itself looked amazing, not only in the E-Series, but legitimately in the life as well. So credit to all the guys. They take a lot of respect and care about their cars, and besides that, they race hard, they race fair, they race competitively, and that's the beauty of the HQ racing as a group. Everyone's there to enjoy it, and that's exactly what the category is about, and we want to keep sort of continuing to do that until we get to Bathurst and until we get to some of these big events, and even later this year we've got the Bend sort of coming up too. So we're really looking forward to supporting the supercars, and a couple of cars here that we sort of haven't seen too much of this particular round. We've got Ash Parker there, and followed by the Petters car, and then rounding behind him we've got the Super Cheap Auto car. So a couple of big brands there.
Yeah, and also some big names, you could say, mate. Some has-beens, you know. Guys who have been there for a while are still enjoying it and having fun. Petters' car looks good with the black, with the red Petters and the bull on the side of that. That stands out quite well.
Yeah, it's a retro one designed back from 2012. So that particular livery has been around for a while, but like they've always said, it's better to be has been than never has been. So
That is for sure. And Petter's transporter is also black when I last saw it on the side of the road with the red Petters on it. So yeah, it looks quite good and quite smart, mate. So here we go. We've got Howlett and the little angry ant, Joel Heinrich. What can he do? He's about a car length behind. We're on lap 10, 2 laps to go. So Howlett, I reckon Howlett has got the initiative. A bit more seniority, better looking head, I'm sure, of it with the helmet on. So it'll be interesting to see what Howlett can do to Heinrich. Heinrich's trying to go down the inside, the late breakers. No, he just pulls back across. Oh, we've got the Petters. Is that the Petters car? Is that you, Ian? What are you doing over there, mate? You're just showing off now.
Legitimately, I was looking for a little bit of airtime there for Petters, so that worked perfectly. It was just a pirouette in front of the camera, worked a treat. So well done to Michael for knowing that was going to happen and driving safely around me.
Yeah, mate. Commentators curse, they say, but I just think that's your bad management. So here we go on the final corner onto the straight. We'll start lap 11. Oh, look at that. Thomas isn't far behind. Madden is catching Scott Andreski behind him and then Anscott. So Madden, he had a bit of an issue there in race 2, a bit of an issue in race 3, but all of a sudden he's up into 4th position. So yeah, that's absolutely fantastic.
You'd say he's the fast runner in this particular race because he, like you said, he did drop off and he lost a lot of space there, but he's getting close. He's obviously been pushed and maybe aerodynamically assisted there. I don't know how much Scott Andreski would let him go there. I'm sure they're sort of fighting it out as it is, but Simon Thomas looks like he might be under threat there with a couple of Harvey's cars with the potential sort of running, but we've only got a little bit to go, and before it's too long, these two front runners have probably swapped positions another couple of times before the flag even. So well done to the top two guys. Again, we've got Joel Heinrich there and Michael Howlett doing an incredible job, and a bit of bump drafting and slipstreaming sort of into this final lap. So we'll see how it goes.
Yep, certainly is. And don't forget, we've got Walker Senior. That's the guy who's driving the 24 car. He's on the other side of the world and certainly showing up his two sons how to drive a race simulator in the E-Class. Oh, Leighton Cranbrook's had a massive big spin now, I would say. All the other cars have got around him.
No, it's Pedro Marusic, and I think he might have broken something in it because the car does not want to move. It's actually stuck in the middle of the track there.
Oh, it is Pedro. Sorry, Leighton. Give me a bit more airtime. But we are on the final lap. We're on lap 12. Pedro breaking something very unusual. Have to wait and see. There's Leighton. In front of him is David Camilleri, the Speed Cafe car, the 00 car. And let's get up the front. Here we go. We've got half a lap to go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We've got Heinrich, the number 1 car, the black car. We've got Howlett, the local guy, the Western Australian, trying to bring it home for the locals. This is going to be tin top racing, 4-door HQ Holden, 6-cylinder, 3-speed, single carby, Petter suspension, Clive cams. What else can I fit in there? Not much. Lucky it's a HQ Holden 4-door. They come down over the top. Oh, here we go. Keep an eye on this final corner coming up. We got you in front there, Ian. That's good. But Howlett's got it up on 2 wheels. He's clipped the inside ripple as that's slowed him down. Now we're trying to get Heinrich. Heinrich on the inside. Howlett on the outside. This will be interesting. Howlett's got it by a nose cone. That was close.
That was incredibly close. Let's have a look at these final results there, and we'll see how we've ended up with that final race. So over the line, that was absolutely line astern, if not door to door, between Michael Howlett there, has ended up sneaking through without about a 1/10 of a second over Joel Heinrich. So incredible for Howlett to come through 4 positions there and take the win. Simon Thomas came through with 3rd position there, and again, just an absolute fraction of a second between Brandon Madden, Scott Andreski, both the Harvey cars coming through in 4th and 5th there. And 6th place, Walker Senior, Paul, happy birthday, from the UK, running through in 6th position.
Mate, unbelievable and fantastic. Command Digital, Jason Mole in 7th position, up 9 position. David Camilleri in 8th, up 13 positions. Leighton Cranbrook in 9th. Andrew Legality, at long last, well done, Andrew. You made the top 10, absolutely brilliant. Dave Smith there in 11th. Hollywood Number 99 in 12th, Walker. The Palm in 13 for West Australia. Matthew Reid, Andrew Toff done extremely well there. 15th position, up 11 places. And Nicholas Jackson in 16th position, mate. He's almost hit everything except for the pace car, up in 7th. Johnny Baxter in 17th. Brett Osborne in 18th. Dwayne Priest in 19th and Chris Anscoff in 20th position, up 13 places.
Yeah, look, there's a few there that haven't ended up with a great result, particularly for the round there. So we've got Chris Ainscough, like you said, in 20th. We've got Kenny Wright's come through for 21st there. He's dropped 17 positions.
Oh, yeah, okay, that hurts.
Not done him any wonders at all, and he's running remarkably competitive in the championship. But Junior Green is ended up a couple, so he's come through for 22nd. Chris Mole, again, probably around to forget, 23rd. Bruce Heinrich there, Joel's dad, came through 24th. Ash Parker, 25th. Ricardo Benvenuti's come through 26th. He's having a fantastic time. He's absolutely loving this. Darren Jenkins, 27th. Bucko.
Mate, I didn't see Darren Jenkins. I'm sorry, Darren, but I didn't see him at all, mate. And probably, as you can see, he's down near the back of the field. Come on, Darren. The president of South Australia, get your ring gear in gear and continue it on. Bucko there, the 88 car in 28th. Rob McDougall there in 29th. Ian McLean in the Pettis car, number 30. And that's the first time the Pettis has been out there this year.
Yeah, look, that car was a one-off run for this particular meeting there. So great for Pettis to sort of be on board, as they have done in the category for a long, long time. So
excellent.
Couple of DNFs there. We've got Pedro Marusic, we've got Simon Smith, we've got Otis and Mark Ainscough and a few more that ended up getting quite damaged in that particular first lap incident there. So that's how the rounds ended up closing out. So, look, thank you very much, Dave. It's been fantastic. Once again, appreciate your time, particularly the Kerway Asphalting round at Barbagallo Raceway for the HQ E-Series presented by Command Digital. Again, thank you very much for your time, Dave. I think that we're looking forward to a big event at Lakeside. Again, another tight circuit, but one that doesn't get much action nowadays. So a big thank you for both myself and HQXtra, and again for Dave. We've had a great round. We're looking forward to the next one. So tune in. We'll catch up with you soon.